Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back. And welcome back, No Contact Army. Have you been a good little soldier or a bad little soldier? And if you too would like to enlist in the No Contact Army, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button. And if you would like to check out the No Contact Army manual, just go to nocontactsecrets.com, where you'll be able to read 2 free chapters before purchasing the book. This week, I want to talk about the reason that most people will not get their ex back. I have an email from a listener. I'm going to go through it and read it. And she does not have her ex back yet. She probably could have had him back if she had done things right, but she didn't. And so we often sabotage our own progress by not doing what we need to do, and instead we act on our emotions. All right, so let's get started. She says, I'm 22. She doesn't include the name of her ex, but I'm assuming it's around the same age. So if you're going to write in, please include both your ages. My ex and I dated for 6 months, and it was a really serious short-term relationship before he broke up with me. He told me that he loves me and doesn't want me to leave him. However, the weekend he was supposed to visit me, he didn't show up, and he told me he wants to focus on himself. So I went over to his place, which is about an hour away. Bad move to see why he's acting that way. Do you need to show up to find out why he's acting that way? That spells desperation. You can ask him on the phone. You don't need to drive a mile. And he told me that he wanted to break up with me. Right, so you drove an hour just to get broken up with. I begged for him back through October and towards the beginning of December, so for over 2 months, where I actually showed up at his apartment again and begged and pleaded for him to come back. He told me that he will have love for me, but said he doesn't like who he is when he's with me. And he told me that I'm just too nice and always a yes man. I think he means yes woman. And too nice. Well, even women can be too nice and get broken up with. So after the pleading didn't work, yeah, you realize that after over 2 months, I went home. He called me 2 days later and said he doesn't want to be mean, but if I show up again, he'll get a restraining order against me. Damn. So if you only showed up twice and he's talking restraining order, that seems to be an overreaction. And as we'll find out later, I think I know why he said that. Because unless she's leaving something out here, unless she was texting and calling all the time and showing up more than she's mentioned, then it seems to be overreaching to get a restraining order. So then I started no contact. Oh, now you start no contact. After everything else didn't work, now you start no contact. One day when I was working, I received a text message from him that said, hey, can you do me a favor? I ignored the text message. Good. I mean, first he breaks up with you, and then all of a sudden he needs a favor. But then he kept calling my phone over and over, and I answered, and he told me that he was on his way to visit his grandmother, and his car got towed in my hometown, and asked if he can wait at my place. I called my roommate. She said she feels that's not the best option, so I told him my roommate had company. Well, at least she's thinking straight. Or he, the roommate. Then he asked if he can come over when I get off work, and I didn't respond right away. And then he said, never mind, have a good one. So he obviously wasn't that interested in coming over. And so I'm glad that you didn't let him come over. I texted him to see if he was okay, and he didn't respond, so I went back to no contact. A few nights later, he texted, what's up, around midnight. I responded right away and told him I was watching TV, and again, no response. Excuse me, I thought we were in no contact here. You're responding to what's up? Obviously, she hadn't listened to my channel, but I'm saying, she just keeps shooting herself in the foot. In late December, he called me saying he doesn't want me to resent him and that he did me dirty, and he apologized for being a jerk. And all I said was, okay. The next day, I felt confused. I didn't want him to think I resented him, so I called him back later on that night to let him know I accept his apology and sorry I wasn't able to say more. Why are you apologizing? Again, too nice. You're too nice, you get walked all over, and you get broken up with. Why are you apologizing for not saying more? If all you wanted to say was okay, that's perfectly fine. If he had wanted to continue the conversation, he would have. But you're 22. I can't be that hard on you. Your brain isn't even fully developed. But I'm saying this more for other people who are listening, who do the same thing, who should know better but don't. We chatted for a bit, and then he started telling me he tried getting in another relationship with another girl, and it didn't work out. Ooh, what a surprise. Gee, I wonder if maybe that's why he wanted to get the restraining order, because he didn't want you showing up when the other girl was over there, and him, and possibly, hurting his chances with the other girl when the ex shows up, and then she's like, well, who's that? Who's that crazy person knocking at your door? It hurt me when he said that, but I told him I'm sorry it didn't work out. Again, with the apologies. Why are you telling him you're sorry? You're a total doormat. Sorry, I have to call it like it is. He then asked me what my New Year's plans were. I told him I was going to be with friends that night, and he said he had nothing going on, but his sister was in town. And she continues to make things worse. Listen to this. I hadn't talked to him for a couple of days. On New Year's Eve or New Year's at 12:30, I'm assuming it's 12:30 a.m., I texted him Happy New Year. So he broke up with you. He's breadcrumbing you, and you wish him a Happy New Year at 12:30. Or is it Happy New Year's? Whatever. And she says, I received no response from him. Nice. So he didn't even respond. And still to this day, nothing from him. So obviously I started my second round of no contact, and now I feel the same as I did back in the beginning, and my insecurities came back, and now I'm barely eating again. I'm scared he's going to find someone new, and I've been working on trying to move on. But when I go on dating apps or meet guys in public, it makes me sick to my stomach, makes me want to cry. Well, you're obviously not ready to move on. You're not ready to date anyone, so stay off the apps. He was my first boyfriend, my first love. I've never experienced anything like that before, and all I want is for him to come back. Yeah, so, it's hard. I know it's your first love. I can't be too hard on you, but this is more for everybody else, not you. But if she had just gone into no contact, the chances of them being back together now or by now would be over 90%, especially at this age. I'm assuming he's going to be the same, 22, 23, whatever. At that age, people change their minds so much. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they want. And so when if that weekend he didn't come over, he said, I want to focus on myself. Okay, no problem. Leave him alone. If he had eventually broken up with her, okay, no problem. Leave him alone. Don't answer breadcrumbs. And he would have been back. And so people often get in their own way, and they wonder why they're not getting their ex back, because you're doing everything you're not supposed to do. And the people that do this the most are the people with the anxious attachment style. I really do feel sorry for you, because I know, or I don't know, because luckily I'm not an anxious attachment style person, that you're going through hell because you're feeling anxious, obviously, and you feel that you need to reach out to your ex, and you can't think straight. You can't think that, no, I have to do no contact in order to get him back, even though I feel this anxiety. So the best thing, if you have an anxious attachment style, because those are the people that are least likely to get their ex back, because those are people that are least likely to stay in no contact or to even do it, is to work on your anxiety. Go to therapy. There's a book called Attached. I've not read it, but it does talk about different attachment styles. See if that will help. You got to do something. You cannot let your anxiety rule your life. It's going to ruin you. It's not going to help you get your exes back. Because you go through hell and you can't handle it. In the case of getting an ex back, the best attachment style to have is avoidant. Those people, they will, no contact, no problem. Not a problem. They're always trying to get out of a relationship anyway. But anxious, no, they will hold on for dear life. And so if you've realized that you have an anxious attachment style, do what you gotta do, because otherwise you will not be able to do no contact, and you will not get your ex back, and then you're going to be kicking yourself. So if you would like my help personally to do no contact, to get your ex back with a relationship dating issue, you can contact me at theartoflove.net, and we will send you the coaching rates. And by the way, please comment below if you have an anxious attachment style and what you are doing to deal with it. If you're listening on YouTube, remember to like, subscribe, and share. If you're listening on iTunes, I would appreciate if you would rate and review the podcast. And finally, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.